Hey everybody, welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast with your host Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford. In this episode,
Playoff baseball,
MLB postseason.
Yeah, we've had wild card. Did we were going during the wild card last week with Marcus. This week we've got the divisional series rounds, and a lot of things have been brought up regarding schedule. I've seen a couple videos talking about they're just excuses, stuff like that. Thus far with the postseason, where are you feeling? Because to me, I'm kind of in the middle on it as far as days off versus the wild card. Like looking at the schedule, it's kind of it should be a struggle, and it's not been so much of a struggle. So some people are questioning the format.
For the wild card.
Yes.
Yes. I think that I was wondering that too, because normally, there we go. Normally the wild card was the day after the season.
Right. There wasn't a day. It was the season ended next day
wild card. And then normally it was once the wild card's over, you go play the team. All the wild card winners, since they swept, they had 2 days off, which they were going to get 1 day originally if they went 3 games. But since they all went 2 games, they got an extra day off, which in sense gave the number one pitcher the time frame to be able to pitch game 2 of the DS, which I think is not really a disadvantage to the wild card teams, where you only have to pretty much put a fight up game 1 and then your pitching staff starts over game 2. When before, I feel like you were going wild card straight into DS, and you're on your 3rd or 4th pitcher
to start the series. Right. So these guys played the first. The season ended the 1st. So October 3rd was the first game in the wild card, and every wild card series ended after 2 games. So I mean I get it, because they didn't go 3 games, they picked up an extra day, which benefits the wild card team a little bit. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like sitting for 5 days is enough to kind of pull momentum, get you out of your comfort if you're feeling good or locked in? I mean, because the All-Star break's about the same time, but to your point earlier, we were talking about it. You know, it's midway through the season. It's not a full season. What are your thoughts?
I think when you're hot and you're going into the playoffs and you're like the Braves and Dodgers and Orioles, where you're a 100-game winner and you're just in fuego, you're ready to go into the playoffs, and then you have to sit 5 games and watch a wild card team hot as well, you know, finishing strong, going into the wild card, and then absolutely sweeping the wild card. That momentum is with the wild card at that time, I think, unless it's like last game of the season, wild card, boom, straight into the DS, and there's technically like 3 days off or 4 days at the most because of the 3 if it goes 3 games. Now an extra day, people can be like, oh, it's only 1 day or this. The point to that is you're giving the wild card teams 1 or 2 days rest less rather than the same as them, I guess. You're still getting 3 days off because you're getting 1 after the season and then 2 after the wild card. I just feel like the disadvantage isn't how it used to be or how it should be. I think the being in the wild card is great, but you should have a disadvantage going into Baltimore, Atlanta, and LA. And I don't think there really was a big disadvantage. And, you know, John Smoltz spoke on it really well about it, and he was very adamant that it needs to change, because you have seen it also in the DS. Texas was hot. They were ready to go. Baltimore had that rest. Whether it did something or not, they didn't look like Baltimore that we've been seeing.
No, I agree.
LA hasn't looked like LA since we've been seeing. The Braves, for sure, luckily they came up at the end of the game in game 2, but they almost were down 2-0 after absolutely getting spanked in game 1. And to keep that lineup not only just not a lot of hits, but they didn't even score a run.
Shut them out.
So.
But do you attribute a part of that to
too many days off?
Too many days off.
I do.
Because there's no, I mean, as good as they are, and they're the best of the best in professional baseball, that is elite. Simulated games are not the same as playing games.
No, when you're in a rhythm or a streak or like anything like that, you don't want your routine or anything to change.
What you're saying is the regular season ended on a Sunday. Everybody that made the postseason got Monday off on top, and then they played Tuesday, Wednesday, and all the series ended. So I kind of brought this up to you, which has never happened. But like your plan A is you play a 3-game series, and in an event that they sweep like they did, they were all 2-2. Plan B is you just eliminate that third day and move the DS up a day.
Yeah. And I mean, but I don't know what TV or whatever
or ticket sales and stuff like that. I mean, I get it in a perfect world.
But if you're going to a game, you're going to a game. If you buy tickets for game one, you're going whether it's a day earlier or the next day. I think. I mean, you're gonna change your plans around to go to the game. So, or even just have that set like, hey, it could be this day, it could be this day. It just happened to work that all the wild card teams just swept through the wild card. That was kind of the kicker, but
because had you had to play a third game, you're probably taxing your bullpen a little more. Mm-hmm. You do eliminate that extra day off. So I mean, it's obviously you want to win too. But again, this is where I'm on the fence of 5 days is a lot, and I agree. And I think the simulated stuff it's not the same. It's an empty. You're not playing in front of the crowd. There's,
But even that, like, even if they're like, okay, we're in Atlanta, we're gonna bring some guys up to pitch to you. You're not facing the guys that you're going to be facing, or, because sometimes you might just be like, oh, this is just say they bring out a AA guy up, just to throw against you guys. Well, you don't know anything about that guy. It might just screw up your whole entire approach because you're seeing somebody you don't even know or used to or have any information on.
Well, in game one, with just talking about the Braves and Phillies, the Phillies kind of pieced that a little bit. So how do you prepare for that? You know what I mean? You can't simulate that. You don't know who they're going to throw at you.
Yeah.
You have an idea. You've played them enough during the season being, within the division. Again, but back to where I'm on the fence with it all is I have for the playoffs, the wild card series. I like it.
I do too. I do like it. I really do. But I just think you have to give wiggle room for the DS game. You can't be like, it's starting this date, just in case it goes 3 games.
It's like Sunday, right? That last day of the season. Make them all early day games.
Yeah, I mean,
and then if you make it, you're on a plane heading to a wild card for Monday night.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing
because both teams will have to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether one will have to travel, but they'll both be just off of playing Sunday.
Yeah,
and then you start there. I don't know. It's supposed to be harder. It's Major League Baseball. They're all hard. There is no just easy give me wins. But there's 2 sides to it, and I think you just kind of have to accept it because I've heard people complain about it. I've heard people say it's nothing but an excuse, and I think both sides are right. I think both things can be true.
Yeah.
So I just think it should be a lot more difficult for wildcard teams.
I mean, if you can't, and this is no knock, but like you're the Orioles, Dodgers, and Braves. If you can't get up for game 1 after 5 days off in your home ballpark with the crowds you have, and you're a professional baseball player, then you need to look in the mirror. If your adrenaline's not pumping like a normal game, because let's be honest, guys that do it at that level, they could take 5 days off and just wake up and go do it. Like I truly believe that. I mean, didn't swing a bat in freaking 10 years, and I got in there. I know it was off a tee, but like it all comes back to you.
Right.
Like, those guys hit so much and have their swing so consistent that's not the issue. I just think that.
Well, you remember in 20
days off.
You remember the 2020 pace, the COVID season of Like, I know it was half a season that we played. We played 60 games. Not even half. We played 60 games. But that playoff format was kind of a gauntlet. Yeah. There was no days off.
Yeah.
Granted, we had, Globe Life Park.
2 venues.
Yeah, you didn't have a lot of travel. But still, to play that amount of games in that amount of time is super difficult when you're using your arms.
But it was one of the most exciting playoffs.
It was a lot of fun. We'll get into the Dodgers.
But, well, I mean, to win a World Series, winning 80 games is, congrats.
Well, of all, listen, we will get to the Dodgers at some point during the podcast, but to have won a World Series, that World Series, it had to be the Dodgers, right? Of all the World Series for them to win, it had to be the one where they played a 60-game regular season and players opted out and some teams weren't at full strength. And so there's always going to be a question mark for people that obviously oppose the Dodgers for that World Series.
My only thing is, if I'm not getting an asterisk or anything,
I wouldn't either.
You got to take the asterisk off the Astros, the people that say it.
Dodger fans or
Dodger
people?
fans. Don't be. They get an asterisk, but ours was real, and vice versa.
Dodger fans
got to be one and the same.
I'll ask both Dodger fans and baseball fans. I would love to. I get what you're saying. I don't have an asterisk next to either.
I don't either.
But that's a good point. But then people need to leave the Dodgers alone because, again, they didn't make the rules for the season.
Yeah,
their guys, the guys they had that wanted to play, chose to play. Everybody could have played. Mm-hmm. It's not the Dodgers' fault. The team's
no,
and I hate to say
Series.
it. I hate to say it. I really do. But it is what it is. But that's a good point. You gotta let the Astros
let bygones be bygones.
Hey, and they did it in a full season. They cheated a lot longer than. Just kidding. No, I'm not. But so do you leave it alone, or do you find a way to just tighten this, less day?
Maybe just take away the day off after the season.
In those 5 days, only 2 days. There was games played.
Yeah. So
there was 3 days off and only 2 games.
Yeah. So maybe just take away the one and there's 2, then there's 4 max. I could deal with that. I could deal with that.
Because I think the series thing's great. I like it.
Because you're giving the wild card a day off to rest before a wild card.
Yes.
That shouldn't happen.
That's not that. What the point is that now you're going up against the gauntlet of the postseason, and this was it.
Yeah.
You get rewarded with the day off, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that should happen. If that's going to be the only thing they change, that should be what they change.
But I don't think, again, like you said, these are the best in the world to play this game. 4 or 5 days. I could see maybe a slow start, but the division series is 3 games, and Baltimore kind of ran through.
Well, yeah,
they had to make a comeback in game 2 to even make it close, and still lost 11-8. So I don't know. You could also argue that Texas had to go to Tampa. Did they go back to Texas, or did they go right to Baltimore? We don't know the travel.
Went to Baltimore.
Yeah, we don't know the travel schedule. So if they went from Tampa to Baltimore, Texas is 4-0 on the road in this postseason so far.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is a challenge in that. It's not like it's not easy. Again, they're playing big league baseball. That alone makes it hard enough. Mm-hmm. You play a team like Baltimore. I don't know. Texas is starting to win over some Major League Baseball fans, though, I think.
Yeah, I just think that they're in that I don't give a shit attitude. Like, everybody's counting us out. They're almost like, nobody's counting us to win anyway.
Is it kind of like that Phillies team from last year?
Maybe.
Or the Nats in 2019? Or
maybe the whole gonna win the division.
To lose it on the last day?
It's like, oh, shit. People are, maybe talking a little bit about us not pulling through or whatever, and they're like, well, let's go prove that we should have won the division. And they've been fun to watch. I mean, yeah.
Did you expect a sweep?
Orioles. No. I just wanted the Orioles because they're young and they had a 0.0% chance of making the playoffs the year before, and won 100 games, were one of the top seeds. I just wanted them to, But Adley played bad. Gunner played bad. I mean, I don't know who Man Bun was that pitched yesterday, but it's like that's fucking gotta go.
I mean, part of it too is the moment thing. There's not a lot of playoff experience there, but I mean, you run through. Well, I don't know how great the AL East was this year. I don't want to say it was a great division. It's not turning into be. It looks like the AL West might be the best division in the American League this year. Which listen, I'll watch lips.
Maybe they have 3 teams.
I'll watch my lips on that. The West, I usually shit on the West, considering the A's are in there and the Angels.
The A's and Angels, could have played NC2A this year, but I mean the Mariners, Rangers, and Astros were good.
And again, the Red Sox were bad. Yankees struggled.
Yeah.
Toronto was there late, obviously, got beat in the wild card. There was some stuff going on with the Rangers. I gotta turn this up here. The Rangers, or on the broadcast of those games, one thing is if you've seen the music of choice for the Rangers, that's kind of gotten them on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been blasting Creed.
Okay.
And I guess they had the one spot there late in the season, and Creed was their pick-me-up. I know Creed's not the coolest now, but
it was banging. It was banging back in high school.
If you grew up in the late 90s, it was everywhere. Everybody listened to it. Well, I would say most people listened to it. But the one thing they did, they got Bruce Bochy after the game, going to the ALCS, and this were in the celebration. This was his locker room comments. Here's what he had to say. People were kind of like, "What?"
The only thing I need to know right now, Edgy, what's the number on your ass right now?
Did you hear the number?
No.
So he said, "Here, I'll play it again."
What's the number on your ass?
The only thing I need to know right now, Edgy, what's the number on your ass right now?
Eight more.
8 more.
They're counting down the wins they need to win the World Series on Austin Hedges' ass, apparently. So this team is in in a different place right now. Is that dangerous when you see that kind of stuff?
Yes. That's like the Giants and the thong with Huff. That's like, you know what I mean? You get a bunch of weird ass motherfuckers in a locker room that listen to some weird ass music, that have a weird ass not tradition, but superstition.
Yeah. And a manager who's been there, done that.
And a manager that is,
as you said,
the biggest goofiest motherfucker out there that just knows how to manage players the right way, and gets everything out of them. It's
or when to not manage players.
Yeah, and let them be themselves.
There's something to that too, I think.
So,
but that you see that kind of shit, and then the Creed
it's scary.
thing, there's just a lot of, and then they're just whooping ass.
Yeah. That's.
It might be the playoff. I think I don't know. Them and the Phillies maybe still. Arizona
That'd be a
too.
good World Series.
We'll get into that Dodgers
Rangers,
thing.
Phillies.
But yeah, you got Austin Hedges counting down the games they need. Interesting.
I guess he's got a tally on his ass.
And a little bit of Creed playing in the clubhouse. I think they were trying to get it played in the stadium during the game yesterday.
They should. But they were on the road? Or no, they were at home?
They were at home, yeah. Which is funny. They've played 5-0 going to the ALCS. They've only had one game in the playoffs at home. So Atlanta and Philly was the other series that, again, people have been keeping a close eye on to. Phillies come out and punch them in the mouth game 1, shut them out. And Wheeler in game 2 was just
no hitter through 6.
Yeah, I had 6 1/3. And the Braves find a way to get on the board, get a big home run from Riley.
Darno.
Darno had a big home run, but Austin Riley had a 2-run shot to take the lead in the 8th. And, you had Harris make that play in center field to end the game to double up Harper. Breaking that down, we kind of talked about that play a little bit. Great play, good play, just as far as the catch is concerned.
That catch should be caught by 99% of the center fielders.
In Major League Baseball?
Yes.
Or teams in the playoffs?
In Major League Baseball.
Okay.
It wasn't like a robbed home run. Now, it was a great catch. Like, ran back, timed it good, jumped at the warning track.
So then, what was a better play? Was it the catch itself?
No, Austin Riley
or
was the
Austin
best
Riley? That's Jeter-esque, right?
Yeah.
As far as being somewhere
You're not supposed to be.
You don't really need to be.
Yeah.
And to have that heads up of to be there and then freaking make a 100-mile-an-hour throw to Olsen.
Yeah, Austin Riley made the play a wow because Harris caught it. Terrible throw.
Yeah.
into the infield. I mean, you legit missed the shortstop and second baseman, especially with how much time he had. Like, he could have just lobbed it to the front guy. You know what I mean? But he made a terrible throw. And then here comes fucking Austin Riley running between the mound and second base and slow roller fucking to first base.
Right.
You know, and that made the play. Yeah, like you said, Jeter-esque. Nobody knows who threw from right field in the Jeter play. Does anybody remember?
I don't.
I don't either. And it's
Who
like,
would have been like Paul O'Neill?
Yeah, see,
We'll have
maybe
to go look. I don't know.
I don't know.
But that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Nobody remembers.
You just remember Jeter being in the most odd position,
glove flipping to Posada, or backhand to Posada. So it's like, what's the wow factor? Is it Harris' catch?
It's up there. It's part of the play.
It's Riley's play.
Without Riley, it's only one out.
Exactly. And then nobody's yelling at Harper for what he did.
Well, I don't think Harper was in the. I don't think did anything wrong.
I think
did
he
get
just
too
went
far away.
Too far.
Okay.
I mean, I think maybe a step past second, but even then you might not score. But it's also there was no outs, or no, there was one out.
One out.
There was one out. So you have to be sure in that spot. I think that's the only thing I have on him.
You get to second base and you kind of see what happens, and then you fly back to
because
first.
where it hits, if it does hit the wall, you probably still could score, and if you don't, then you got second and third with one
exactly.
out.
That was at the very least, and Atlanta's going to probably, depending on who's up, but I would assume they'd walk with the base open to load the bases and have a force out or an opportunity for a double play.
And I think Harris might have played Harper into it because when you watch it, honestly, I didn't think Castellanos got as much as he got at first. I was like, oh shit, it's just in the, fly ball in the gap. But I think the way Harris went at it, it wasn't at full speed. So it turned into the catch he made, which I think in a sense made Harper think that it was dropping because he was almost going at it like, I'm not going to catch it. Like kind of looking at the wall, not looking at I felt maybe that had some kind of thing where Harper, that's dropping. I'm going, I'm going to score. And then, nope, he catches it. So, but I mean, Harper's a very aggressive base runner. He's, people are giving him shit because he scored on, the coach was holding him up in one of the wild card games and he scored. He's a baseball player, sometimes you get caught making a bad baseball decision. I wasn't mad about it. I just think he just went too far, Yeah,
trying to make something happen for his team. I mean, because
if
that ball does carry him.
If Riley doesn't make the play he makes, then we're not even fucking talking about this right now.
No, it's who knows what happens. Your 2 outs run at first, but
and he's not going to tag from first.
No, he's not with one out.
So
with anybody out really.
Yeah,
because you'll take first to third.
Yeah.
I think he was thinking score, and maybe that's where, getting a little greedy, maybe it cost him. But that's, heads up play. After a loss like that, where your pitcher,
I'll tell you this: nobody's going in the dugout, motherfucking.
No, I don't think so. Why?
Because they know he wants to win. It's not like he doesn't want to win. So,
but I think, we'll get further into that mindset here in a little bit. But your pitcher dominates. You give up a late game lead. A 2-run shot, go-ahead home run in the 8th, instantly flips momentum and
which that was Connor's spot last year. That righty?
That bullpen spot?
That righty? Mm-hmm. That was after coming in after Alvarado and stuff. Like, that was Connor's spot. And Connor, pitched very well in the playoffs. And that was what I thought the strong point was their bullpen. And it just didn't
get it done the other night. But
he also, I was watching that at bat. We were talking on the phone. I was watching that at bat again against Austin Riley, and it was just, you can't. I mean, I know he was out front, but you just can't hang a slider. I know it's 3-2, and Austin Riley it looked like a fastball approach with the, he just hung it, but you just can't hang.
It was a fastball approach, with an adjust like we always preach.
And he got it out front.
But I mean, it's 2 outs, base open.
I don't know. I might be trying to go
bury
up and
one
in again.
or bury one.
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah.
It was definitely not a chase pitch.
No. Definitely with the base open, I think you have to be more careful with Riley.
Agreed. 100% agreed. In that situation of the game, with what's on the line, you got an opportunity to go 2-0 back home.
And I don't, like you said, he was what, 0 for 2, 0 for 3?
0 for 2, 0 for 2 with 2, or 0 for 3 with 2 punches.
Yeah. I mean, a player like that's due. It's going to happen. It's baseball. That just happens. Like, a guy 0 for is going to.
Do you think not having to play the next day benefits Philly on a loss like that? Or do you think coming back and playing right away? Because, like, the Braves take a lot of momentum with that win. And I'm like, I'm wanting to play the next day. Yeah. And Philly's like, nope, we get a day off. Yeah. We get a whole extra day to flush that shit.
Yeah,
and we're going home.
The momentum definitely won't be there.
Right? Yeah. I agree. I think it.
Rather if they played today, right?
Yeah, they play. Yeah, they play this afternoon.
Oh, they were off yesterday.
They were off yesterday. Right. Travel day.
This whole fucking playoffs, it's mixing me up because I'm so used to like the games being together. But
they played game 1 and then took a day off.
Makes no sense.
And then played game 2.
Like, why are you giving the National League a day off? You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense. The playoff system. Oh, because the TV.
Yes.
So,
because how many guys are watching games at 2:00?
Everybody.
I did. I watched them here.
I mean, people are going to watch the game. It's not like they're not going to watch the game. I mean, Baltimore was packed. Yeah, I don't know. I think the momentum was great, but yeah, Philly's like, cool. We got a day off and we're at home.
Yeah,
and ultimately one of the hardest ballparks to play in.
And they've got again, that game's today. It's Thursday today. Nola going for Philly and Bryce Elder for Atlanta, who's got 2 starts this year against Philly, 10 2/3, I believe. What did it say? 4 earned runs and 10 2/3, 1-1 record. So it's not an unfamiliar lineup, but it's not in a playoff atmosphere in Philly. We saw what Philly was like last year, which was fun baseball.
Yeah,
that San Diego Padres Philly series was fun to watch. Do you want to take a pick on this? Who's going to play?
I picked Philly.
You picked Philly. You're going to rock with Philly. Okay. I'm still going, of course, with the Bravos. The other series still going tonight is the Twins hosting Houston. That series is 2-1 Houston right now. And kind of, I don't know, is it kind of how you thought it'd play out? It's been kind of back and forth, both tight games, other than I think game 1.
No, it wasn't yesterday.
Game 1 Minnesota lost. Game 2 Minnesota won.
Yeah, and then yesterday they kind of got blown out.
Yeah, kind of got smashed up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I had the Astros going. I just don't think the Twins have enough with Buxton out and I just don't think they have enough firepower to keep up with the Astros. And again, the Astros are cocky, got hot at the right time. I don't feel like the days off bothered them because they're a bunch of vets. They've done it before. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that helps too, which the Braves had too. I just think the Phillies were hot.
It's not so much about the days off for the division winner as it is we need to make it a little more tight for the wild card teams. Like, it needs to be more games played, quicker turnarounds.
Yes.
You want it to be fucking hard. Yeah.
Yes.
No sleep.
Exactly. That's you know what? Just bust their ass across the country. It needs to be
cots in the locker rooms.
Yeah.
Like, it is no hotels. That's what you want.
It's got to be tougher for the wild card. Because they're hot. They're all hot. So it's really hard. But I just think the I'm sorry, the Astros are just the Astros.
But see, again, every team benefits for some rest, though. I guess is how much is too much.
Yeah,
that's all. And then obviously anything within that Twins series, though, Astros. I mean, nothing really crazy to talk about as far as I've seen.
No,
I do think Houston's going to win, to pull that series out or win that series. Maybe not tonight.
I mean, Bregman's being Bregman, Altuve's being Altuve. Pena's got hot finally, after having a kind of a bad season.
I think Urquidy's going tonight, so they're good. I mean, you know what I mean? That's
Javier threw great yesterday.
It's a good ball club, man. I know, but most people can't stand them. But,
Alvarez rakes. They got Brantley back. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's they're dangerous, man. They're dangerous. But I honestly, if in the American League, my hot hand, I'm if I had to put money or make a bet today, I'm rolling with the Rangers.
That CS. Let's just put it this way. I'm not gonna lie. These playoffs, either any way they go, it's going to be exciting. I feel like if
you think Major League Baseball,
if it's Phillies Diamondbacks, if it's Phillies Dodgers, if it's Dodgers, Braves, if it's Braves Diamondbacks, I feel like it's all going to be freaking just exciting.
Well, people get mad when it's not the big.
Who cares?
The big market teams.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's annoying to see the Diamondbacks do what they do with no name players. Or like a 40-year-old Evan Longoria that's done. Or great career, but
not yet, my friend. Not quite yet.
I mean, he's done.
I'm not saying you're not a fan, but listen.
I'm a fan of Evan Longoria. I've liked him.
I think people, the money, want to see the Astros and the Rangers versus the Twins and the Rangers.
Yeah. I mean, but. Why? What's wrong with the underdog?
I'm with you. I'm saying
I like an underdog. Like, I would not be mad if the Twins won.
I wouldn't either.
And went all the way or whatever. I wanted the Orioles because they're the underdog. They're these young, under 25. You know what I mean? Like hungry players earning their league minimum. You know what I mean? Like that's what gets me going. Like that shit. Not, although Seager's backed it up with his. The way he's played this year. So, I don't know. I just think that all these teams are pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah. And it's playoff baseball. It's always exciting. It's always fun. It always gets people going. The other series is the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, who play tonight. Again, game 3 in Arizona.
Sweep?
I'm all for it. But Dodgers are a good baseball team. Lance Lynn going tonight. I don't know who's going for Arizona. I didn't look. But I don't think anybody expected game 1 to go the way game 1 went.
No. But it's baseball too. It's not.
Can we talk about the we do it every year. I feel like we do this every year. Talking about Dodger fans.
What about them?
Well, you know what about them. You just don't want to say it?
No, I'll say it.
Game 1 was 11-2 final.
Yeah.
Kershaw got to start for game 1. The third of an inning, 6 earned runs, I believe. He comes out.
Yeah.
And what was his worst start in his career? I don't know. I thought I heard that. I
know postseason wise.
Could be wrong.
It's never been done before.
To see the pile-on, I can't take it anymore. Listen, we know he's not been good in the postseason, right? It's not like it's...
Well, the track record shows that,
He's had struggles. Let's say that. I think it's fair, right? We can...
Yeah.
Dodger fans can frame it however they want. He's had struggles in the postseason. He's also had some good games in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't pretend like there's been 0 good outings. But I see all this stuff on Twitter, Instagram, and just the choke artist, all this stuff. And I'm thinking, are you Dodger fans? And that's it? Because you could be a fan of a team and not really be a baseball fan. How often do you see it?
A lot.
Like, I feel like if you're you should be a baseball fan first and then have your team. Because then you kind of have some understanding maybe of the game, right? And you can appreciate more what a player like Clayton Kershaw has done for your organization. Okay? It's not a matter of, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? It's a matter of, is it a first ballot, second ballot? When is he a Hall of Famer? Because he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
He's carried your organization through numerous seasons. He's been the best pitcher in baseball numerous seasons. And yes, I get it. You're frustrated. Every year you get to October, you face some adversity. He didn't get it done again. I understand that. But where are all your young guys? Where are all these guys, these horses? Where is Dustin May and Walker Buehler and Gonsolin and Urias is, who knows what's going to happen to him? But who's there?
Kershaw.
The one guy that always seems to get through. I mean, he's had some back issues and had a couple seasons where he didn't finish the year. But he's never gone out there and not given you what the best he's got. It's not like he's out there wanting to lose.
No.
Not taking the ball, hoping I don't get through the first. Hope, you know what I mean? Hope it's a third of an inning for me tonight.
Yeah.
And an L. And on top of that, you got to score more than fucking 2 runs when you're down 11-0. We want to shit on Kershaw, but we don't want to bring up the offense or lack thereof. I think I saw a stat. They're like 3 for 40 in their last 5 playoff games with runners in scoring position. Doesn't matter who's on the mound and how many runs they give up. You're not going to win ball games that way.
No. I mean, he only gave up half the runs. The other 4 pitchers gave up the other half.
And the other thing, and this is where I say being a baseball fan first, is that it's okay to tip your cap to the Arizona Diamondbacks. I know you're a homer. Listen, I'm a Braves fan, but you tip your cap to the Phillies. Game 1, even game 2.
I mean, Wheeler was,
You're not entitled to you're not entitled to winning.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You're not entitled to it. Just because you're I don't.
Well, my whole thing was, dude, he didn't even pitch bad.
He got hit.
He got hit. Like, it wasn't like he was just throwing cock diesels down the middle. You know what I mean?
What would you say to them? Well, if he got hit so bad, how could he didn't pitch good then?
He ran into a hot team that was ready to go. Like, they were like, we can't let him get ahead. We got to go. We got to get ahead. He had 1 walk. You know, I know he had no strikeouts, but he was 25 strikes out of 35 pitches. You know, it wasn't like he was wild, balls in the dirt, walking guys. You know, he was throwing strikes. They were just ready to go.
Got hit. They did what they were supposed to do.
They had a plan and they stuck to it, and you know, they did it. I mean, like you said, you have to tip your cap to the Diamondbacks, and you have to be like, fuck, let's go pick Kershaw up. Like that, as a Dodger fan, you need to say that instead of like, oh, here we go again. Or the Giants fans are the worst. It's like, welcome to the whatever. It's like, you guys are fucking sitting at home with no fucking manager when your other manager is in the wild card with the Rangers. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, most Giants fans are worse than Dodger fans when it comes to the Kershaw thing.
And the Dodger fans that I've talked to that are my friends feel the same way I do and say the same things I just said. Same with Giants fans. Like, I know a couple that are like, one, they're all happy for Bruce Bochy, by the way.
Yeah.
All of them. I wonder, you know, it's funny because, like, which team shits on their team more?
The Dodgers.
I think the Dodgers, too.
I do, too. I think a lot of the Giants fans, they know they suck.
Yeah, they're kind of
and they still
come around.
You know, I feel like the Dodgers, they don't suck, but sometimes they're just like, they think they suck, and it's like, no, dude, it's baseball.
And listen, as a Braves fan, kind of seen that, you know, you have a decade of success, but only 1 World Series to show for it. You know, that's kind of what the Dodgers have been the last 10 years. The other thing I kept hearing, too, about Kershaw is, why did he go game 1? And he's going to have to fucking pitch at some point, whether it's game 1 or game 3.
Well, he didn't lose game 2. That was on somebody else. But should we blame it on Kershaw, even though he didn't pitch?
I think they had, 5 guys go that game?
I mean, they had a rookie go, throws absolute ched, but they laid off his curveball and they had a plan. I mean, fuck. What do you tip your cap? Fucking A. You guys have been outplayed by another Major League Baseball team. It's not like it's
it's not like the Diamondbacks didn't have a division lead throughout the year.
Yeah,
like they were leading the West for a while. Like,
and they've played each other. They know each other. You know, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's hard to. I felt bad for Kershaw because of what his career has meant, not only to baseball. Like you said, we probably never see another 300 win pitcher.
No, and I think he's at 200. And are we gonna see 200?
No,
you know what I mean.
No, we're not.
Again, I know I know we've exhausted this one, but like it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
You could see Hall of Fame classes in the future have nobody. Unless you dummy the fuck down the criteria to get in the Hall of Fame. Like Kershaw's look how long he's pitched and how much he's pitched at 215 wins.
Yeah.
When 300 was a number. Well, that's no longer reachable.
250s.
And so, again, I brought it up. Like, what do you do? Do you make another Hall of Fame for kind of Hall of Famers?
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's for sure one.
I think he is. I mean, with the Cy Youngs, with MVPs, with the ERA titles. I mean, I think he has the second lowest ERA in the history of Major League Baseball to Bob Gibson, I think.
There was a stretch where if he was on the mound that night, good luck.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and call it a night. He's going to win.
And I think a lot of people forget that, It is what it is. It's just, you just get beat. Sometimes you get beat. There's a better team. I mean, if you guys were that good, you'd win the World Series every year. I mean, it's baseball.
And again, we've talked about it 100 times, how hard. It's just hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not easy to do. I think Arizona's going to win this thing. I don't know if they win it tonight. Again, this will be out on Friday, so this game will have been played. I don't know if it's a sweep, but I also don't know if
they're in Arizona now, right?
Yeah, they're in Arizona, so they're not going to be able to swim in the pool this year if they win. Didn't the Dodgers do that when they beat Arizona?
Did they?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
What goes around, does it come around?
Yeah. Baseball gods.
You don't do that shit. I can only hope. Having the Arizona Diamondbacks, let's say Arizona moves on. Are we jinxing it by saying that? Should we just not move ahead? We want to. I don't want to give.
If they lose the next 3 games,
we're stopping.
It's not our fault. I'll tell you that much.
All right. I'm going to say the Arizona Arizona Diamondbacks are moving.
It is not our fault if they fucking give up a 2-0 lead. Like, that's not our fault. Sorry. Go finish.
Hey, that's what it takes if you want to win a World Series.
And if the Dodgers pull out 3, I'm not saying I'm wrong or anything. You did what you're supposed to. Good job.
And in order to win the next 3, you're going to need Kershaw.
Yeah.
So.
And if he goes, say it's 2-2 and Kershaw's going, I'm going to go for the Dodgers just because I want Kershaw. Or at least Kershaw have a great outing.
What did you just say?
Yeah. Because I'm a Kershaw fan.
All right.
Just because I'm not a Dodger fan doesn't mean I can't pull for a guy.
That's what I'm saying. Baseball fan. And then have. So
I want him to go 9.
Because if you don't
lose on an unearned run.
You don't know what's going on, or you don't have a grasp of the game, and you like a team, fine. But shut up.
Yeah.
Don't go post your thoughts on what happened and what they should be doing. I fucking despise that. Okay, I told you today.
Yeah.
I saw a guy on TikTok. Maybe he's a quarterback guy. I don't know. Maybe he is. But he's man bunned out. I mean, little guy. Not a little guy, okay? Not a big dude. Doesn't look like he ever played quarterback. I will say that.
Okay.
Breaking down film of an NFL quarterback of a play that happened in real time it was 4 seconds long. And he breaks down that 4-second play in 30 seconds. And he's saying this is what Dak should have done within those 4 seconds over the span of 30. I'm like, bro, you've never done it. You've never done that. Like, you're telling an NFL quarterback how to do things when you've never fucking done it. You've never taken a snap with 255-pound linemen coming at you that run 4.5 40s. And you're thinking
you're like 300, man. The D line,
not all of them.
The D tackles are. Those guys are.
Yeah, there's some big bills. Yeah, there's some big.
The outside guys have got a little trimmer.
Yeah,
they're faster, but still,
regardless,
they're trying to kill you.
Like, what qualifies you, who's never been drafted?
It's Uncle Rico.
And you're out here spouting what these guys should do. Again, maybe he was a quarterback guy. I don't know.
You got to show me the video.
But, like, put your fucking money where your mouth is. It's like all the people that get mad when a field goal kicker misses a game tying or game winning, and then you see some dipshit. Yeah, I think Pat McAfee, they offered a dude like $100,000 to make a 30-yard field goal, and he kicked it into the crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not easy.
It bothers me. So if you're, I see a lot of people saying.
Although I do think kickers should make more kicks. You have one job. That's it. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. As a kicker, you literally have one job to do, and you can practice it as many times as you want. And I get you have people rushing you, but if you mentally are prepared to do 2 steps kick, you should make
it doesn't
95% of your kicks.
Yes, but I think it doesn't make it easy.
No, and I probably couldn't do it, and I could kick in high school.
I probably couldn't do it.
I could kick a 30-yard field goal probably.
We should do that.
Actually, I'm not going to say
no,
that.
We should do it.
No, because I might pull something.
Well, we'll get a good stretch, and then we should do it. I'm in if you're in. But it bothers me. Like, people are out there. I'm just like, you don't stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Get your ass up there. You couldn't throw a strike with nobody in the box from the cut of the mound. I don't want to hear you talking about how bad Clayton Kershaw was. Okay? Like, go throw out the first pitch of a game in a full stadium. I want to see what some of these people, how bad their fucking throws are. Just be quiet. Okay?
We should do that. We should do the HIT.OR.DIE first pitch contest.
Just get it loud, ruckus, people talking shit to you, dugouts chattering. You'd freeze. Just stop. I understand there's some passionate fans of teams out there, but relax. Because again, the Dodgers are shitting, like some of the fans are shitting on it, and the series is not even over. And in order to win the series, he will have to pitch again. And when he comes, if he does, and I'm with you, I want him to do well, just so he can give you one of those. And if he does, here's the deal. If he does, all those people should stop being Dodger fans. They're not allowed to be Dodger fans anymore.
Turn in your hats.
Yep. Turn in your shit. Your career as a Dodger fan's over. You have to go like the Giants. Done. But I am going to say Arizona's going to pull it out. I don't think Dodgers are going to come back and win 3 in a row.
I don't either.
And I don't mind saying it on the record.
I think it's going to be.
I'm not putting out games out there. I'm not doing it.
I'm doing it. Obviously the Rangers are in. I think the Astros are going to win. I think the Diamondbacks are going to win. And I'm going for the Phillies.
So you're saying Phillies, Arizona for your NLCS.
Yeah.
And you'll take
Phillies.
Okay. And then you got Houston and Rangers. In our World Series is the Phillies and
I'm going to go with Bochy.
The Rangers?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Braves and the Rangers.
Yeah.
And I don't think any one of those is a bad series.
No.
So
I'm just a Harper fan. I'm a bigger Harper fan than I am the Braves. Now, what they've done is amazing, and that's great. But I want Harper to win because he left the Nationals. They won. He left.
I'll answer if the Braves are out. Right now it's the Braves.
Yeah.
I can't say anything else other than that. But I will pick a team. I will continue the process if they don't get the job done in the divisional series. But lots of playoff baseball. We will. We were supposed to have a guest today. He's on the road, so try to get him next week. It's everybody's favorite, by the way. But lots of playoff baseball. If you have comments to this, I was telling Chad I would love to invite the audience to come and talk via the phone. We can, if we're off base, if you want to tell us off for some of our perspective, please send us a message. We want to talk playoff baseball with our audience. We do it. We've done it in the past, and we'll get a couple that are like, they're not so sure, and then they do it, and they have a good time. I'm telling you, it's fun. Talk some baseball. Hit us up.
Talk some shit.
And we can go back and forth, banter, fight, whatever you want. Agree. Anything, but we want to get involved more with the audience. So if you do want to, next episode, we can do the whole damn thing with the audience and take phone calls and talk some playoff baseball. If you want to get involved, again, reach out to us. We are in. Chad, until next week, we'll be in the championship series by then. That is another episode.
Well, hold on before you go.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, go. Do you, man.
Your 16th, 14th.
Oh, yeah, 16.
16th anniversary will be out on Thursday. It'll be Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. No,
Tomorrow.
today's not Thursday.
So you will have a happy 16th anniversary when this comes out.
I think, 16 years. In return, yesterday, which was Tuesday, the 10th,
yes,
you had your
14th
wedding anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats to you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We're going. It's going.
30 years here combined.
Yep.
Marriage experience. Don't call us for advice.
No.
We are not the ones.
No.
Now, that's another episode of the Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or Die.